Welcome everyone to our Tuesday night chat. I'm your host, Kelly Wilkins from My Self-Reliance, and I'm so happy to be with you tonight. We have a really unique workshop for you tonight. And in this one, we're going to really go through what is My Self-Reliance and what can you count on? How can My Self-Reliance help you through this method I want to show you? And at the end, I have some announcements to make, and also we're going to give away some prizes. So stay tuned to the end. All right. Well, thank you for joining me if you're in person, and thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, you do want to have a pen in hand. We are going to go through a worksheet, which I'll take you through as we go along. So grab a pen and pause if you need to, if you grab that pen, and you can play along. I want to start off. I want you to put a yes in the chat if you've ever experienced unexpected change. Now, that might be easy when we think about the last couple of years. And this time, put a Y in the chat if you felt like this change hit you like a curveball. Yes. Perhaps that experience got you thinking about how you could do things differently next time. Perhaps you're worried about finances or family life, and possibly that experience had you feeling alone and wondering where you could get help from. Now, imagine you are prepared for all kinds of calamities and able to meet unforeseen concerns with confidence, ease, and grace. I want you to picture this. You've found that like-minded community with people who are supportive and resilient, and they're ready to make changes alongside you. And now imagine being able to inspire others with what you and your community have created. Now, would you agree that to be able to go from here to here, something has to change? Why is now the time? Well, the reality is that the world is full of change. Never before have we seen such chaos and commotion with unprecedented events happening around the globe like never before. In fact, if you agree that now is the time to bring communities together, then I want you to put a number 3 in the chat. If you'd been with me in July of 2021, you would have seen me during lockdown pacing up and down in my backyard, sitting on my kids' swing set, talking on the phone with my new business coach, Roxy Lebrasse. She is a cute brown-eyed, curly-haired girl. I'd hired her to help me build my online skincare and nutrition business. But as I sat on that tiny swing during lockdown, I realized the world was changing. I was super concerned about whether we would be allowed to go shopping again. I actually bought up a lot of things that I could at Kmart, just in case in a few years' time that we'd never be let back in again. And then one day a thought came to me. I remembered what I'd been taught growing up on the farm in the Northern Rivers with my 4 brothers. We'd always had food storage. My brothers ground wheat into porridge and milked cows, and we ate our own beef. Our parents taught us how to be self-reliant. We'd had regular lessons on putting together our 72-hour kit for emergencies. And whilst we'd relaxed our efforts over the past few years, I felt like now was the time to put those lessons back into practice and teach others about these things too. I shared those ideas with Roxy, and she helped me shape these into reality. Since then, we've been building a community through our workshops, our programs and events, and all the interviews that we've been conducting over the last 3.5 years. Today, I want to introduce you to a new concept to take our community to the next level. When you consider how being prepared can help you be calm, confident, and in control of your future, there are 4 steps we need to look at. These 4 steps are the steps to being more self-reliant. I call it PREP, P-R-E-P. When we don't take these steps, we start to rely too much on others. We become vulnerable to life's challenges, and it hinders our ability to cope. It prevents us from being able to bounce back from tough times, leaving us stuck and overwhelmed. Society as a whole may face higher poverty rates and lower productivity, stifling community progress. On the other hand, when you do take these steps, you've got the power to handle things on your own terms. You can make your own decisions, chase after your dreams without waiting for anyone else, and take care of yourself no matter what life throws your way. It's really like having a superpower that lets you stand tall and face whatever comes your way with confidence and independence. Would you agree that when we are prepared well, we'll be in a better position to handle life's curveballs when they come? In fact, if you would agree with that preparation is a key to success, put a 5 in the chat. Thank you. At My Self-Reliance, we've developed systems to support you in the areas, and I'm going to take you through these 5 areas. If you have a worksheet in front of you, you can fill that in now, or you can just grab a piece of paper and you can follow along. So we're going to spend a few minutes on the first P. When you don't address this P, you will experience all kinds of issues, emotions and upsets without knowing what's really bothering you. You might even see clearly what the P is, but not know the first step to how to deal with it. On the other hand, by having a clear picture of what the P is, we can begin to unravel its mystery and get some clarity around it. So the P stands for problem. Okay, we need to identify and assess the problem. It might be obvious, but then again, we might have to look deeper. What is the problem that we need to solve? Since COVID, we've seen the world go through some huge upheavals. We talk about living in unprecedented times, and the world is changing faster than we can blink. And especially with the introduction of AI, we'll see even bigger changes. I believe that by starting with identifying a particular problem, we can begin to tackle it. After all, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So when embarking on a journey to become more self-reliant, it's important to assess various aspects of our life to identify which areas may require attention or improvement. So let's look at the first area, money or finances. Being financially self-reliant means having control over your support for yourself. So the question is, do you have a clear strategy for creating multiple streams of income? A simple task to evaluate your financial self-reliance is to ask yourself, if I was to lose my job today, how long could I survive? For most people, the answer is, if you have a job, it's 6 weeks. So a job can stand for a JOB, just over broke. And usually after about 6 weeks, people are starting to feel a bit broke. So you can assess in this area where you sit in terms of money, and you might want to, if you have a wheel like this, you could color it in and give yourself a rating out of 5 for money. Okay, the next area is food or food security. These days, more often than not, we purchase our food from the supermarket. It's quick, convenient, and there's plenty of choice. But what if the shelves are bare? How much food do you have to last you without going to the shops? I would suggest that if you had a 3-month supply, that would be a really great place to start. But even if you had 3 weeks, start there. The next area is the area of health. They say if you don't have your health, what have you got? Having health and vitality gives you so much independence. On the other hand, addictions to taking pills, drugs, or even sweets can tether us to a world of revolving treatments and expensive bills. So how is your health? The next area is relationships. We are all in this together, right? It's why it's super important to make our families strong too, because when they're solid, our whole community gets stronger as well. When we're tight-knit with our families, we feel like we belong and we have each other's backs. That's the kind of support that makes everything better for everyone around us, making our community a happier and more resilient place to be. Okay, and the last area is education. Since education is such an important part of life, it shapes every aspect of our future. It's important to spend time and energy on getting the right information. What programs, workshops, or classes could you take to help you expand your skills and knowledge? So I want you now to take a look at these 5 areas. And if you've been assessing where you sit in each of these areas, you could give yourself a rating out of 5 or 10, whatever's easiest for you. And pick an area that is your strength. So where do you feel like you're doing really well? Is it relationships? Is it education? Is it finances or food? You've got a good food storage, or your health is really great. And now look at an area that maybe is more of a weakness. Maybe you'd like to take some more time to think about that area that you'd like to address tonight. And as we go through, we're going to recall one of these areas. Put a Y in the chat if you can think of a problem in one of these 5 areas that you'd like to address. And we're going to go to work on it tonight and do a little exercise that might be of benefit for you. 20 more seconds to have a think about that. And then when you've got something, pop a Y in the chat for me, and I'll know to move on. All right. So it may be a big problem or just a small one. Any problem will work for this exercise. For this exercise, the area that I picked was actually relationships. So in my relationships are actually pretty good. But I have a child who has trouble going to sleep. And because this child has so much trouble going to sleep, it's affecting the whole family. So that's the area that I'm working on in this exercise. So having a think about the area that you're working on. Would someone like to come off mute and tell me, in general, the area that you're working on and the particular problem that you would like to go to work on? So the area is finances, and the particular problem is having multiple streams of income. Got that? That's awesome. All right. So the next area that we're going to look at is the letter R. And when you don't have this letter R, this sorted, you might feel at a loss for where to start. So it's a big area of finances. So you might say it's like being a fisherman on a boat with no clue as to what's in his tackle box. So how would he be able to catch a fish? But when you do have the letter R, you're sorted, you will feel certainty and clarity. So what is this letter R? This letter R is for resources. So we look at what we already have and what we need, who can help us. So having a look at the right resources at your disposal will help you to clearly navigate the obstacle that you're dealing with. I believe that when we know where to start to find the right resources and to use them, 9 out of 10 times we'll be able to solve everything that you're dealing with. So if we take a look at the concern that we suggested, and especially in my area, I mentioned my area was relationships. The problem is that one of my children has trouble getting to sleep, which is affecting the whole family. So as I apply the PrEP method, I first look at the problem, I described it, and I also look at what it is that I want it to be like. So I know that if I can get her sleeping well, then there will be less drama and arguments during the day because everyone will be so much more calm. So I examined all the resources that I can use, and I came up with this list. There's books, coaching, courses, leaders in this field, podcasts, meditation for myself and for her, therapists, a chiropractor, aromatherapy, the scriptures, friends that I could turn to, my spouse, quality time, games, herbs, YouTube, apps, chat groups, and so many more. So they're just a few of the resources. Now, I want to give you just a few minutes to write down some resources that you could use in the area that you're dealing with. And they might be similar to the ones that I have created, or they might be very different. So I'll just give you a couple of that can just to capture a few resources. And maybe if you want to type away in the chat some of the resources that I not on my screen that you've come up with, and I'll read them out. I know in some of the other areas there could be resources such as herbal remedies, especially if you're looking at health and wellness. There could be certain diets. There could be certain exercise programs. There could be the gym. Yep, Telegram, LinkedIn, beautiful finance savvy people. Excellent. Sam and Andrew also working on the area of finances. Awesome. Would you agree that now that you have had a little look at a variety of resources, that now you can have a place to begin to tackle that problem? So put a number 5 in the chat if you feel like, now you've got a few different ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of before. Perfect. So knowing where to find those resources and how to use the right resources is the key to overcoming any obstacle. And it may take time. There's no quick fixes. Okay, so we're going to move on to the letter E. We all know someone who thinks that they know it all and don't need this letter. Not being open to the letter E can sorely stop a person from reaching their full potential and solving the problem or growing through the problem. It can limit a person's growth and keep that person in the rat race or hamster wheel and going nowhere. However, when you do take on the letter E, the world is your oyster. We are never too old for the letter E, and you can never get too much of it. So what is it? E is for education. Education is for life. What do we need to learn in order to grow, move forward, and develop? None of us know everything there is to know, and neither can we, but learning is never done. As a teacher myself for over 25 years, I have a passion for what education can do for a person. And I know many of you on this call are exactly the same. Now, believe me when I say that not all education is equal. And I particularly don't put my faith in educational institutions. But learning is essential to growth, and we can never know too much, nor can we know everything there is to know. I believe educating ourselves with the right resources can empower us to be self-reliant faster than any other method. So if you love to learn new things, put a number 7 in the chat. So let's look at the problem that you started with and the resources that you looked at. How could education help improve the situation? Is there a course, a book, or study that you could engage with that could help you? In my situation, I downloaded the Mind Valley app and I took the course on conscious parenting. Soon I found I was seeing new ways to be a parent that I hadn't considered before. All the years of wondering why the methods that I'd been trying to help my kids weren't working. And now not only did I have a new perspective on parenting, I also had new practices that could really make a difference. Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So the last P in the PREP method. If we don't have this P in our life, we'll not only feel alone, but we will have to work it out by ourselves. Some people think that they can manage without this P, but it's a lot more work and there's only so much that you can do. When you do have this P in your life, the potential to achieve more and have more fun and laughter definitely increases. So what is this P? This P is for people. Our community is everything. Because we don't know everything there is to know, nor can we, and we can do everything on our own, it's important to have a tribe of people who you can relate with, turn to and help and receive support from. Having people around you can help solve your problem in several ways. People cheer you on. Your family and friends boost your confidence and keep you motivated. You can get fresh ideas, different perspectives, spark new solutions you hadn't thought of. Share skills. People can share their expertise and teach you new things. And we can definitely have connections. Your network can link you to useful resources and opportunities. Having people around you can help keep you on track, hold you to be accountable, and help you stay focused. And teamwork often leads to more creative and effective solutions. So, would you agree that having people, or especially like-minded people around you, would make tackling the problem easier? If you believe that to be true, put a number 6 in the chat. I found that when I shared my problems with friends and family, I wasn't alone in my situation. I had a plethora of people who were willing to give me advice, who'd been there and done that before and able to support me. So how would sharing your problem with the right people help you tackle your situation? When facing the challenges of life, you don't need to go at it alone. Would you agree that we can be so much more effective when we're not trying to do everything ourselves? In fact, if you agree that we need our like-minded communities, then put a number 8 in the chat. So Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. I believe that by taking the PrEP method into the areas of food, finances, health, education, and relationships, we can significantly impact our autonomy. By empowering you to control of your own life situations, with My Self-Reliance, you have a community of like-minded people and resources to help you grow, connect, and thrive. And now you know the PrEP method, you can use it to become more self-reliant. So before I move on, I want to answer any questions that you might have. So one of the most familiar questions that I get is, can this PrEP method work with anything? And my answer is yes, it can work for anything. It can work for a headache. So I've used this PrEP method on a headache and been able to disappear my headache without the use of Panadol or any other medications. So let me just go to the chat and see if there was any question. Emma and Andrew, did you have a question? Or Zach, did you have your hand up? And you don't have to have had a question, that's okay, just checking in. All right, so today we've talked about how having a community of like-minded people together around us can help us to grow, connect, and thrive. If you haven't heard of our memberships that we launched at the Expo, I want to share with you how that can help you with all of these concerns that we've talked about before. Our membership, here's how memberships work. For the cost of a cuppa each month, you can become a member of My Self-Reliance. We have plenty of programs, events that you can tap into that will help deal with all of these areas. We have our jigsaw method, and our jigsaw method is a brilliant way to start your morning with an hour of power. And this will really help you to tackle all of these areas in using this. It's a 1-week program from Monday to Friday. The first hour of the day, usually from 7 to 8 a.m., we spend an hour together, and you can start to see shifts in these 5 areas right away, or one area if you like. You can just go to tackle one area. It's really great. So we also have plenty of workshops that you can purchase tickets to and come along to learn, and they're listed on the website, lots of different programs and workshops. We have our big festival coming up in October, where you can meet all these beautiful like-minded souls too, and experts all in one place over a weekend. And we actually, I said at the beginning that I was going to announce our announcements at the end. So tomorrow we actually open up the ticket box for the festival, and the first 30 tickets will be at our early bird price. $150 for singles or $300 for families. And when I've looked around at any other festivals, you cannot get a 3-day event at this price anywhere. So this is amazing release. So you want to jump onto that. But if you miss out on being one of the first 30, then being a member of My Self-Reliance means that you'll get amazing discounts to the festival and to all of our programs as well. We have our survival kits, which are on sale. And we also have, you can pick up in person at our events. And you can also become a partner with My Self-Reliance. So we're looking for sponsorships. If you would like to become a collaborator and be featured on our website and have your program or course or offering on our website, you can become a sponsor or a partner. We are excited about our brand new member events, which we are launching monthly. So on the 15th of June, we're having our first at no cost to members event at Rouse Hill. And let me just share that with you, what that looks like, which are very, very exciting. Here we are, share my screen again. Okay, so this will be from 9:30 to 1. We're doing a dry food storage solutions. We'll have demos and giveaways. It'll be lots of fun of networking. And Zach is going to be there as well with his amazing from Power of the Pulse machine. Zach, do you want to share with us what people can expect with your demo?
A hands-on experience of feeling, what it's like to use, and a demonstration of showing how we use the anti-nano devices, how you can utilize them to disengage the nano operating systems from basically hijacking us and taking us over in the many myriad of ways that the nano operating system does. So I really look forward to being there.
I really love that, because it really works to solve that some of our health and wellness issues. So meanwhile, we can work on this food security solution. So bring your dry foods. You can bring oats, rice, beans, pasta, lentils, flour, and we'll be able to seal them up in Mylar bags. And if you don't have any Mylar bags or you don't have organic dry food, we'll have some there on the day for purchase as well. But for our members, I have free Mylar bags to give away on the day. And there's just a small cost for guests, but all are welcome. So it's at number 16 Belcast Road, Rouse Hill, and we can't wait to see you there. We also have our July monthly social up, and we're going to be diving into how to put together your 72-hour kits or your bug out bags. And that'll be on the 20th of July. So, perfect. A testimonial from one of our clients who did the morning method with me. She said, "This was the best 5 days. I was able to focus on myself while going deep down to the root of my dreams and vision in life. This program gave me more clarity on the power that I hold in me to achieve anything that I want, but especially showed me how it can be done step by step. And I've got to say, it was even more powerful doing this with my like-minded ladies. I could do it again." And that's from T. Alvarez from Sydney. So we have happy people joining our community each day. So if you want to be one of them, I encourage you to go to our website and jump on there and become a member. As I mentioned earlier, we're about to open up our ticket box for our festival. And really, we're here to support you, to help you grow, connect, and thrive. Jump into any of our unique programs. You won't find this anywhere else. In closing, I want to thank you for being here. From the humble beginning, sitting on the kids' swing set in my backyard during COVID, to being with you here in this Zoom, or if you're watching the replay, thank you so much. I feel honoured and grateful to have you here and listening today. Your presence has given me the boost to create these offerings. Really, it's all about you. If you'd like to connect with me, I'd love you to reach out, and I'd love to find out how we can serve you. Please do jump onto our website, myselfreliance.com.au, and we're here every month, so the first and third Tuesday of the month, with a new speaker and some great events. With that, I'm actually going to close the recording, and we're going to do some giveaways for those that are present here tonight. So thanks for watching.
Thank you, Kelly. And looking forward to the festival. Definitely get your ticket.
Beautiful.
I'm Kelly Wilkins from My Self-Reliance. Welcome to the My Self-Reliance Expo 2024. We are so excited for you to come and experience our speakers, workshops, and store holders. There is so much in store for you today.
It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. It's going to brighten up any room, right? Absolutely stunning. Going once, going twice, sold. $15 right now. Simon's winning. Sold. Well bought, Ben. Well bought.
If you like what you've seen here, come to our My Self-Reliance Festival. Save the date, 18th to the 20th of October. We'll see you here.